When Barb asked me to be the 2022 campaign chair, I was excited to do my part in advocating for an inclusive community because it's a topic that's near and dear to my heart. A little bit about me: I was born and raised mostly in South Dakota and came to Mankato State University in 1991 to study accounting. I felt like I had made it big when I started working as a CPA in a skyscraper in downtown Minneapolis right out of college. Think shoulder pads and high heels. I thought I was a really big deal. We were lucky to have opportunities to move around the country for about a decade. Much of my 20s were spent in Missouri, Illinois, and Pennsylvania. And then I received an opportunity to come back to Mankato in 2004. Reflecting on that decision and knowing what I know now about my life, I am so thankful that we landed back in the greater Mankato area. I spent almost a decade as controller for Taylor Corporation before moving to Davisco Foods International in Le Sueur to be their CFO. I'm now very fortunate to be on the team at United Prairie Bank as their board chair, and I feel so proud of the commitment the bank makes to this community, as well as all the communities our branches are in, from Spicer to Worthington. Working with the Taylor, Davis, and Sneer families has taught me a lot about the commitments and generosity those families make to their communities. The business owners I have supported have modeled for me why we all need to give back to our communities, why it matters. And the reason I tell you a little about my history and my journey is to confirm for you that yes, from the outside, my life is what you see. I've had great opportunities, and I've been very fortunate in terms of my family, my career, and living in this beautiful community. So let's talk about my first major life detour. My son Caden was my third child, born in 2009, and joined his beautiful sisters Cameron and Kendall. Caden was born healthy and developed normally until around 18 months of age. At that point, he began to exhibit a lot of concerning behaviors. Most terrifying was the loss of speech he had already mastered. He would also stare off into space and literally became a shell of the kid he was previously. I can remember cuddling with him one night and saying, "Buddy, I don't know where you're going, but please don't go any further away from me." After a lot of intervention from experts in our community, Caden was diagnosed with autism. And what I needed the most was support. Support from my community for me and my son. So that seems like enough for my plate, right? Working full-time in finance and navigating my son's issues. I thought I had drawn all the short straws I was going to get in life. And then I found out that's just not how life works. Let's talk about my major life detour number 2. In April of 2017, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. MS is an unpredictable, often disabling disease of the central nervous system that disrupts the flow of information within my brain and between my brain and body. MS is unpredictable and progresses differently in every person. I am looking towards a future of unpredictable disability for myself that includes things such as loss of mobility, loss of vision, loss of coordination, tremors, numbness, and loss of mental or cognitive functioning. And because I guess I needed yet another reminder that I was not in control of anything, our major life detour number 3 struck when my children's father died unexpectedly in June of 2019, leaving all 3 of my kids devastated. I now realize how critical it is to have mental health resources accessible for everyone in our community, all of the time. My family has had to navigate many programs and resources to help with our own mental health struggles. The reason I tell you so much about my family is because it's what drives my passion for my community. I have needed so much more help than I ever imagined I would in all 3 impact areas of the greater Mankato area United Way: basic needs, health, and education. You see, it's not those people or them, it's me and it's my kids. Through my work with the United Way, I recently saw a statistic that 12.5% of individuals in the greater Mankato area have a disability. That's over 18,000 people. If the 12.5% is not you now, it very well might be you tomorrow, or in 5, 10, or 20 years. How will you have supported and treated others with disabilities during your lifetime? And based on that, how will you expect your community to support you when you need help? You see, isolation already existed for marginalized individuals like those with disabilities. COVID has just made it much worse. And I personally have resources, financial resources, a great support system, access to medical care. I'm educated and I can navigate complex systems. English is my first language. What about our neighbors and friends who don't have these resources? The partner agencies the United Way supports are critical to our community if we care about inclusion. We say it all the time. We are more powerful united. We can do more united. We are stronger united. Our community is stronger when we lift up those around us who are marginalized. An inclusive community is always a stronger community. This is the purpose and the history of our United Way. That is what the Greater Mankato Area United Way has existed to do for the past 90 years. The United Way's 2022 campaign goal is $2,060,000. These dollars will support 59 programs within the 40 partner agencies in 2022 to ensure our region stays strong. This year, due to the continued challenge of COVID, the needs are rapidly growing. All agencies were vetted by more than 80 community members like yourselves who volunteered to review agencies and determine the funding they would receive. Their recommendations ensure your hard-earned dollars are being used wisely to improve people's lives. And the dollars you donate stay local. We ask you to join us in keeping our United Way strong by pledging today.